Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. It is March 31st, 2023. Happy Friday, everyone. It's 12:45. I'm just wrapping up my lunch break from work, but I wanted to do a quick read on Allen Weisselberg. While watching Dr. Lena Rodriguez's Tarot Down Under reading last night, she mentioned something in the news that I had briefly seen but didn't click on the link, about the former CFO obtaining new counsel. And so I read up on it this afternoon, and it appears that Allen Weisselberg has secured a different lawyer, and that the Trump org is not paying the previous lawyer anymore. Now, there's dispute as to if Allen Weisselberg got rid of his original lawyer or if Trump org got rid of that original lawyer. But the new lawyer that he has is being funded by the Trump org. A spokesman for the Trump org said that Trump org had nothing to do with it. It was all Weisselberg's idea, but also noted that she didn't know the reasons why Allen Weisselberg changed attorneys. The other item, and she said that basically he upon consultation with his family changed the lawyers. Trump org had nothing to do with it, but there is documented evidence that this lawyer clashed with Trump's legal team about Weisselberg's testimony and if he should talk with prosecutors and such. So I suspect that Weisselberg's original lawyer, the one he just recently fired, actually did a good job of being concerned about his client's well-being, and this new lawyer is probably going to better represent Trump. That's my gut feeling on this one. Previously, people have switched lawyers out of Trump world, have flipped, but in this case, this lawyer is still being paid by Trump, so I don't think that's going to be the case. But I could be wrong. So, on the chance that I'm wrong, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has to say. So, Spirit, can you tell us or share with us some insight as to Allen Weisselberg's current situation with his lawyers? Why did he switch lawyers? Why were the lawyers swapped? And then we'll find out if there's flipping or anything like that going on. Okay, so what do we got? We've got Page of Wands going a new direction. So this is the new lawyer coming in. He's got a new ideas, new way of doing things, different way of doing things than what the previous guy had. Crossing with the world. Okay, that's interesting. So maybe this new lawyer is brought in because the charges that Trump org is facing are much greater, have a greater expanse than the localized. Allen Weisselberg was basically put in jail for Trump org's local financing and doing stuff off the books. But now there's a bigger thing in play here, and they probably want a different lawyer that's going to have a better expertise on this larger scale. I think what it is like we've got a larger scale problem here. In the past, we're at the crossroads. Probably, again, a decision as to which lawyer to stay with. Do you stay with the old one? Do you go with the new one? Interesting thought. Right now, we've got the King of Swords. It's a harsh decision. This was a decision made with no emotions. This is just how it's going to be. Again, Trump org is paying for it. Trump org doesn't pay for anything unless Trump org benefits from it. And it doesn't matter how loyal you were before, because in this case, loyalty has nothing to do with it. Loyalty is a one-way street in Trump org. You give loyalty and you get none back. So this guy was probably a good soldier, a good lawyer, and he's not needed anymore. Bye. Okay. And what's the overarching energy? Winner takes all. So I think, again, I would be really concerned if I'm Allen Weisselberg about this new lawyer coming in, because this is kind of the card of, please meet the bus. We're about to throw you underneath. You just spent 5 months in prison. which, given all the crimes that he's done, people do 5 months more for shoplifting. This guy stole millions. You know, if a bank robber doesn't even get this kind of sentence. They might steal $10,000 and get 20 years. This guy stole millions and gets 5 months. There's something wrong with our system. The overarching energy is, again, winner takes all, narcissism. I really would be concerned if I were Allen Weisselberg that I'm about to be thrown under the bus again. And the overarching energy is the Ace of Swords. I think there's all these swords cards. There's truth coming out. There's new information coming out, and they need a new lawyer in order to counter this information. And it's probably going to involve Allen Weisselberg, who I will point out really did not cooperate fully with federal investigators. Yeah, he was the fall guy, and he admitted to all that stuff. He didn't implicate any of his bosses. And if any of us for a second believe Allen Weisselberg was some loose cannon running around Trump org doing stuff without the boss knowing what's going on, yeah, Donald Trump's got a bridge to sell you too, because that just doesn't happen. Again, I'll believe Michael Cohen on that one. And then the outcome is fighting, argy-bargy, bickering. So why did he... and underneath, let's see. Moon card, okay. So there's secrets. I think Trump org is trying to sell this as Weisselberg is changing his lawyer on his own volition. I don't believe that. I believe that if this story were all the same and Allen Weisselberg and his family were paying for the lawyer, I have a totally different read on this. This reading is totally tainted by who's providing the cash. Unless this lawyer is going to really represent Allen Weisselberg and they've bamboozled the Trump org into thinking that he's representing Trump land, I'm not convinced that this new lawyer is going to be helping Allen Weisselberg. He's going to be helping Trump org, and expect that there's going to be more fighting, more arguing, more bickering going on with this. If this guy has ethics and morals and he's representing Allen Weisselberg going forward, there's going to be a lot of fighting in Trump world, and that might be what's happening. Trump world might think they're getting a loyal player, and they may be getting somebody who's even worse than the first guy. So again, I think, and maybe that's what's going on here. This new guy might be even harsher, and he understands it's winner take all, and he's representing his client. Doesn't matter who's paying him, and because he knows he's going to find out what's going on, and he has to accurately represent to his client what's going on. As you have the moon card underneath here, and there's going to be more fighting between counsel. So, put a pin in this story. Things are probably going to start getting really interesting really soon, as far as that goes. I don't know. Again, it really depends if this lawyer is representing who he's representing. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that to come through. I mean, I kind of lead in with my biases. Again, if Trump org is paying for it, Trump org is getting what Trump org gets. But I guess that first guy did his job, and Trump org didn't like it, so they're replacing him. I don't believe Weisselberg's replacing this guy. But regardless who's replacing it, this new guy is being replaced. If Trump org was satisfied with the first guy, they would keep the first guy. If they're not satisfied, they would replace him. And Trump org doesn't exactly own their stuff. They're not exactly accountable, huh? So I take anything they say with a huge grain of salt. Okay, what do I want to follow up with? How about just a simple four-parter? Will this new lawyer represent Allen Weisselberg's best interests, regardless of what Trump org says? Let's find out. Trying to hold it all together. Maybe he's going to try and do both. Whatever happens, it's going to be happening quickly. There's going to be some planning, And there's the monies. There's, your Trump org monies. Page of Pentacles. Okay, so what's this new... I was asked if this new lawyer was going to represent Allen Weisselberg. Honestly, I don't know if this reading gave me the answer to that. Okay, so let's because I don't know if this is representing his representation of Allen Weisselberg or if this is Trump org. So as for instance, if this was Trump org, Trump org's trying to hold on to all its money it can. It's looking forward to its next step, and it has to move quickly to protect the money, and they came up with a new idea. Let's bring in this new guy. That, to me, that rolls right off. If this is for Allen Weisselberg, switch it from Trump org to Allen Weisselberg. This is going to be, this new guy's going to look in here, and he's looking at us like, I have to protect my client's money and his interests. I think that still works. So I think he is going to try and protect what money and what interest Allen Weisselberg has, because there could very well be more financial peril or jeopardy that Allen Weisselberg's in yet that we don't know about. And, he's looking at this situation and evaluating this situation as best he can to how he's going to represent his client. And I'm sorry, I'm closing a little pop-up window here. Yeah. He has to move quickly. Because again, this guy's legacy, his financial legacy, or is just plain his legacy is at stake. And again, coming up with a new idea. So, it's not telling me. And maybe that's because that moon card's underneath there. We don't know who he's representing. Who's he representing? Okay, how about this? We'll go a different way. Will Allen Weisselberg be pleased with his representation, and personally pleased with the representation this lawyer provides him? Maybe that's the way to ask the question. Will Allen Weisselberg be pleased with how this lawyer represents him? Simply yes or no. Maybe with some underlying cards, maybe another 4-carder. Well, Allen Weisselberg, because you got that argy-bargy fighting. What's all about? There's that Page of Wands again. So, will he be pleased? It's a new way of going forward. Things are going to be exposed or brought to illumination. Offers you don't necessarily care for. And nostalgia. And the Magician. So this guy's going to be able to bring... yeah. Is he going to be pleased with him? I think so, but not in the way that he wants to be pleased. Not in the way he wants to be pleased with him. I think what's going to happen is Allen Weisselberg has got a lot more trouble coming his way that he wasn't expecting. And this guy is going to work out deals to protect Allen Weisselberg. And Allen Weisselberg's not going to like those deals. But that's because I think Allen Weisselberg thought if he does his 5 months, he's free and clear. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this campaign finance stuff is going to come back, and they're going to try. I think what's going to happen is Trump org is going to try and throw Allen Weisselberg under the bus again for this campaign finance reform stuff. Campaign finance fraud. Reform is when you're trying to fix it with legislation. Fraud. Okay. Will Trump org be happy with this new counsel? With the results of this new counsel for representing Allen Weisselberg? Let's see what they think. Queen of Swords. Okay. Harsh decisions. Dark money. Hanged Man. And victory. Yeah. And there's that planning again. I think they're going to think that was a great decision on their part. Because I think what they've found is somebody who's going to make a martyr out of Allen Weisselberg again. Here's the backroom dealings and the victory card coming through. I think that with these new charges coming up, they're going to find a way to blame Allen Weisselberg for it throw him under the bus again. And this lawyer is going to be really good at negotiating a settlement that doesn't impact Weisselberg badly and protects Trump org greatly. When you swim with sharks, you're swimming with sharks. Expect that they're all a bunch of predators and they will attack the weakest creature around them. Sorry, Alan. I'd get my own lawyer if I were you, but if you don't want to pay for it and you trust these people have your best interests in mind, you're wrong. For entertainment purposes only. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up and all the good YouTubey stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great afternoon.